अगर प्रिंसिपल डेटर को पहले ही रिलीज कर दिया तो बाय डिफॉल्ट श्योरटर भी रिलीज हो गया. सो नाउ देयर इज नो आउटस्टैंडिंग डेब्ट टूवर्ड्स क्रेडिटर. ये हो गया पहला एक्सेप्शन. और अगर क्रेडिटर खुद होके बोल रहा है, हाँ चल ठीक है मत दे मेरे को, डोंट गिव इट, आई एम लीविंग यू, ये अगर एक्ट और ओमिशन अगर क्रेडिटर कर रहा है, देन ऑल्सो देर इज अ डिस्चार्ज. देर इज अ डिस्चार्ज ऑफ प्रिंसिपल डेटर. और अगर एक बार प्रिंसिपल डेटर अगर डिस्चार्ज हो जाता है तो ऑटोमेटिकली श्योरटर विल ऑल्सो बी डिस्चार्ज. क्लियर? इज दैट क्लियर और नॉट गाइस? हेलो,
यस सर.
समझ में आ रहा है? चलो नेक्स्ट. now what do you mean by release of principal debtor? If the creditor without the consent of the surety by his own act destroys the debt or derogate from the power which the law confers on the surety to recover it against the debtor, in case he shall have paid it to the creditor, the surety is discharged. So let's take the example. A gives a guarantee to C for goods to be delivered to be supplied by C to B. C supplies goods to B, and afterwards B becomes embarrassed and contracts with his creditors, including C, to assign to them his property in consideration of their releasing him from their demands. Here, B is released from his debt by the contract with C, and A is discharged from his suretyship. Why this happened? Because it is the release of the principal debtor, and principal debtor has made certain arrangement. That certain arrangement is in the property of the principal debtor, and the benefit is given to the creditor. So by default now, principal debtor is discharged from his liability towards creditor. So automatically, suretor is also get discharged, because when principal debtor is not liable, where is the question of suretor comes into the picture for the guarantee. Okay, this is how the first rule you have to understand. Now let's say the second, act or omission of creditor. A contracts with B to grow a crop of indigo on A's land and to deliver it to B at a fixed rate, and C guarantees A's performance of his contract. Okay, now B diverts a stream of water which is necessary for irrigation of A's land and thereby prevents him from raising the indigo. Now C is no longer liable on his guarantee. Why? Because A's act is, who is the creditor, his particular act is itself is stopping B, okay, for not to grow up indigo. So now this way, when A's action is stopping B, so automatically C, who is the guarantor for B, will be automatically discharged because of the act or omission of the creditor. Okay, so act of creditor not to grow indigo, thus C is no longer liable on his guarantee. making performance by the debtor impossible. Clear? Now, by operation of law, there is a merger of the estate of the debtor and the creditor, then automatically suretor's obligations come to an end. So this is also, another important factor which is, considered here. Now, so the impact of section 134 on the liability of surety, we should keep in mind the impact of section 136 read with section 146. So under section 136, where there are more than one sureties, a release of one of them by the creditor will not discharge the others. And under section 146, even if one of the co-surety is released by the creditor, he would not be released from his responsibility to contribute to the other sureties. So this is, two-way. They are internally related. First one is talking about दूसरा co-suretor release नहीं हुआ, और सेक्शन 146 टॉक्स अबाउट अगर कोई एक को-शॉर्टर ने पूरा पैसा दिया है और दूसरे को-शॉर्टर ने पैसा नहीं दिया है, then the one who has not given money, he has to give his portion of money to the co-shorter, because that other co-shorter has paid full money. Okay, this is how you have to understand. Now the fifth one, when creditor compounds with, gives time.
I have a question.
Huh?
I have a question. What does the release, the term release in this context mean? Because you said even when the surety is released by the creditor, they still have an obligation to pay their part of amount. So I thought release would in this case mean that they have maybe completed their part. That's why the creditors released them.
See, creditor released them, but I will give an example. You and Vishal, you are the co-shorters. You got my point?
Okay, sir.
And now Vishal has paid 100% amount. You did not pay single money.
Okay, sir.
So are you released as far as Vishal is concerned?
No. I'm released from the creditor, but as far as Vishal is concerned, I'm not.
So this is what they are telling.
Understood, sir.
This is what they are telling. Clear? Now, when creditor compounds with, gives time to, or agreed not to sue the principal debtor. Now this is again the act or a particular, response of the creditors. This is mentioned under section 135. Now what it says that a contract between the creditor and the principal debtor by which the creditor makes a composition with or promises to give time or not to sue the principal debtor discharges the surety unless the surety assent to such contract. Is that clear? So now example is that we said that within 2 months you have to pay me, and now creditor and principal debtor, they have agreed, okay, instead of 2 months I am giving you 4 more months. But now here the suretor is now hanging sword on him for another 4 months, which he is not agreed at the time of giving consent to become the guarantor. In this scenario, now suretor is released. Why? Because as per the original agreement, it is within 2 months that principal debtor should pay back. And for this reason only, suretor has agreed to become the guarantor. But now suretor is not interested to remain guarantor for the 6 months. Otherwise, his personal arrangement or his certain other arrangements are getting disturbed. So this is also, one of the things which you need to keep in mind. If this is what is there and suretor is not agreeing for this kind of extension of time, then suretor is automatically getting released. Now, there are 3 different circumstances releasing the surety of his liability have been envisaged. So what are those three, scenario under which suretor is released? First, when a creditor compounds with the principal debtor. When the former promises to give time to latter, means creditor is promising to give time to the principal debtor. And third, when the creditor agrees not to sue the principal debtor. If these are the three scenarios are there, then suretor is free from his liability. The conditioning factor is undoubtedly unless the surety assent, means agreeing, means permitting to such subsequent arrangements in between the creditor and the principal debtor. Is that clear? Now let's go to the next one. However, the provision of section 135 have not been liberally constructed by the Indian courts. So let us understand. The creditor compounds with the principal debtor. Now under this scenario, when in a composition, the creditor voluntarily takes a certain amount in full settlement of his claims against the principal debtor without the consent of the surety, it means variation in the original contract. So in the Bombay Company versus Official Assignee Madras case, it was held that a private composition with the debtor behind the back of the surety will have the effect of discharging the surety. But if the composition is made under the supervision of the court and after notice to the surety, the liability of the surety is not affected and suretor is remain liable. At the same time, it must be noted that compromise in terms of a court degree is different from private composition. So this is how in India section 135 is being interpreted. Second, creditor promising to give time to the principal debtor. In brief giving time contemplates a subsequent contract between the debtor and creditor, whereby the time originally fixed is extended without the surety's consent, and the creditor then precludes himself from suing for a certain time. In such a case, surety is discharged. Where it is mentioned? It has been mentioned under the Mahanath Singh versus Ubai, AIR 1939. Giving time for making the principal debtor to make up the deficiency does not mean that discharge the surety. किसमें लिखा है? अमृतलाल वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ बैंक त्रावणकोर and Yusuf Moidu versus Haji Abdul Qadir and brothers. Court grants time to the debtor. If this is what is the scenario, then suretor is not released from his liability. Now the third, creditor agreeing not to sue the debtor. If the creditor under agreement with the principal debtor promises not to sue him for the payment of the debt, the surety is discharged from his liability. The main reason is that a surety is entitled at any time to require the creditor to call upon the principal debtor to pay off the debt when it is due, and this right is positively violated when the creditor promises not to sue the principal debtor. Or we can say that the promise by the creditor not to sue the principal debtor is inconsistent with the right of the surety, and that is what such action on the part of creditor discharges the surety. Now, forbearance to sue. Section 39 of the Act reads this: creditor's forbearance to sue does not discharge surety. Mere forbearance on the part of creditor to sue the principal debtor or to enforce any other remedy against him, does not, in the absence of any provision in the guarantee to the contrary, discharges surety. Now, by impairing surety's remedy, section 139. What is the principle? It is the duty of the person who has secured a guarantee to do every act necessary for promotion of the rights of the surety, as a surety is a person who receives no benefit and no consideration out of the transaction, but has voluntarily accepted the liability of the principal debtor to the creditor. So section 139 says, if the creditor does not, does any act which is inconsistent with the right of surety, or omits to do any act which his duty to the surety requires him to do, and the eventual remedy of the surety himself against the principal debtor is thereby impaired, the suretor is discharged. So let's take the example. B contracts to build a ship for C for a given sum to be paid by installment as the work reaches certain stages. A becomes surety to C for B's due performance of a contract. C, without the knowledge of A, prepays to B the last two installment. A is discharged by his prepaid act. Now, firstly, the surety can claim indemnity from the principal debtor for all the sums he has rightfully paid under the guarantee. And secondly, he is also entitled to the benefits of every security which the creditor has against the principal debtor when the contract of surety is entered into. Where it is mentioned? It is mentioned under section 140, 141 and 145. It may be noted that if the goods are lost without the fault of the creditor, the surety is not discharged thereby. So let's take the example. When the hypothecated goods are lost without any fault of the creditor, that does not discharge the surety. Where it is mentioned, it is R. Lilavati versus Bank of Baroda, All India Reporter 1967 case. And the seventh, that is the last, loss of security by the creditor. Now section 141 says that a surety is entitled to the benefit of every security which the creditor has against the principal debtor at the time when the contract of suretyship is entered into, whether the surety knows of the existence of such security or not, and if the creditor loses or without the consent of the surety parts with such surety is the surety. So the expression surety in section 141 is not used in any technical sense. It includes all rights which the creditor had against the property at the date of contract. If the creditor has lost or has parted with the security without the consent of the surety, the latter is, by the express provision contained in section 141, discharged to the extent of the value of the security lost or parted with. Where it is mentioned, it has emerged in the state of Madhya Pradesh versus Kaluram. But it must be noted that a surety in the case of hypothecation is not entitled to invoke section 141. Hello? हाँ प्रतीक बोलिए. Okay, so but it must be noted that a surety in the case of hypothecation is not entitled to invoke section 141 of the Act for the benefit under the said section if the creditor loses or without the consent of the surety. Part will be the surety pledged. The surety is discharged to the extent of the value of the security. Such a question cannot arise in the case of hypothecation of goods for the simple reason that when the goods are not in his possession, no question of losing or parting with the same arises. As in the hypothecation, the possession of the goods hypothecated is with the borrower, and it would be wrong to say that the goods are in the constructive possession of the creditor, because it has no effective control over them by hypothecation. Only an equitable charge is created and nothing more. So this is how now we have come to end to our unit 1. Is there any doubt? Hello, guys. Any doubt?
No, sir.
I will upload our ERM very soon, so you people can start going through. Then you will be, in position to understand, how we have gone through with the sureties right and sureties obligations. Okay, now everyone. Please switch on your video. We'll take attendance. Devansh.
Yes, sir.
Devam. Apur.
Yes, sir.
Kishan. Rucha. Rishi.
Present, sir.
Nilesh. आकांक्षा.
सर वो भी एब्सेंट है.
कौन?
आकांक्षा.
नीलेश एब्सेंट है. देख तो जरा.
हाँ.
लिसा.
Present, sir.
नैतिक.
प्रेजेंट सर.
नमन.
प्रेजेंट सर.
हर्षिल.
Present, sir.
दिव्या. Yash. Check. Yash is there or not? Kasawabi. Lacey Sivanda. Check.
Present, sir.
Lisa John. David.
Present, sir.
Ambuza.
Present, sir.
Okay. BA. Neha. Shabir. Yatri.
Present, sir.
Jitendra.
Present, sir.
Ali.
बोलो बोलो.
अरे बोलो नहीं, हाँ या ना बोल.
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ. करण. यज्ञेश. अमरजीत. वर्दा.
Present, sir.
Pinky,
Present, sir.
Ayush, Vivek,
Present, sir.
Monica,
Present, sir.
Disha,
Present, sir.
Vishal,
Present, sir.
Henry,
Present, sir.
Isaac,
Present, sir.
Moses,
Present, sir.
Yashraj, Rushi,
Present, sir.
Junaid,
Present, sir.
Daniel, Hibrij Hassan,
Present, sir.
Mogya,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Yak, Anthony.
Present.
Is anyone left out for attendance? Is anyone left out for attendance? Okay. See you in the next
No,
class.
sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Chalo, bye.